General Manager, Mobile Financial Services, Mr. Elihini. Sales and Distribution Executive, Mr. Eric Insako. General Manager, MTN Business, Mr. Sam Ado. General Manager, Capital Projects, Mr. William Tete. Acting Chief Information Officer, Mr. Joseph Adumwa. And Mr. Magnus Kofi, Acting Chief Technology Officer. Permit me to also acknowledge the presence of a few people amongst us, and we will do the rest later on. Mr. Ayabuafo National Media Commission Chairman, we're grateful for your presence. Mr. Kenneth Ashibe, Chief Executive Officer, the Ghana Telecommunications Chamber. Mr. Kofi Yamwa, Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Stock Exchange, and his team. The President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Afilmoni. Thank you. Dr. Ahinfo, President of Distributors Association. Thank you for coming. Mr. Clarence Blay of the Bank of Ghana. Thank you for coming, sir. And Mr. Kwabna Yeboah. These are a few. At this stage, it is my pleasure to welcome our very own CEO, Mr. Selom Adadevo, to lead the discussions. And thank you for coming and welcome once again.
Thank you, Sam. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm hoping you're off to a bright start for the week, and it's great to have all of you here this morning. Like Sam said, we're going to walk through our performance for last year and some of the highlights for 2018, but would also share with you some of the upcoming activities and specifically strategic focus that we have for 2019. So through the day, you'd see different aspects of the business, and we look forward to engaging you through this. So maybe I'll develop a sign for, oh, there's a clicker here. Okay, fantastic. Let's see if this works before. Okay. Apologies, I need to see how this works before I get going. Okay, so we'll broadly cover three main areas. Our operational review, our innovations and technology excellence, and the last area we'll cover will be looking forward. Within each of these sections, there are various components, so as we go through, we will guide you through the presentation. To Sam's point, as we go through as well, some of my fellow executives will come up and present specific areas that we go through. The first slide we'll look at, just as a reminder, is to just recap on our vision. And our vision is to lead the delivery of a bold new digital world. And I'm sure most of you already know this very well. But our mission is to make the lives of customers a whole lot brighter. And this is what we really stand for, and this is what we aim to do, not only with our products and services, but also with the way we engage with all our stakeholders, which would include you as well. Now, lastly, we believe everyone deserves the benefits of a modern, connected life. And as we continue to deliver on our mission, we keep this in mind on how we execute and implement a lot of our services and our products as we go along, and in various ways. But definitely, one of the things that we look out for is to ensure that we're delivering on the services that our customers need, but also expanding our coverage and our technology leadership into the areas that our customers expect us to go into. Some of this would be things like our investments in 4G+, because our customers were seeking out faster networks, even though we had 4G. And also extending our 4G coverage as we continue to bring services to the doorsteps of our customer. Ignite Commercial Performance really looks at trying to excite the base with all the products and services that we have, expanding our footprint in sales and distribution across the country, and continue to deepen our presence in every part of Ghana. This is absolutely critical for us as we go through, especially since historically a lot of the rural areas that were probably underserved have become a lot more commercial and a lot more viable. And it's important that we continue to expand our services into all these areas. The fourth pillar, which is G, which is growth through data and digital. We all know that there's been a consumer revolution where a lot of focus has moved from voice. Customers are demanding more services around data, and with data comes digital. So this is an absolutely important pillar for us as well, and you'd see some of the things we're doing here as we go through. I already talked about technologies such as 4G+, 4G, continue to lead the technology innovation, and hopefully in the not so near future, we'll be talking about 5G as well. H is hearts and minds. And as you know, you can't run a business without your people. And our people are absolutely important to us. And we know that without our people, we really won't have a business. We also know that without our customers, we won't have a business. So this is an important pillar that we focus on, and would have a few slides on hearts and minds, looking specifically internally as we go through the presentation. The last one is technology excellence. And the goal here is to continue to lead the technology spectrum in Ghana and make sure that we extend that leadership as we go through. But secondly, the core of the very first pillar, best customer experience, sits within technology excellence. So this makes this pillar fundamentally important. If we don't get this pillar right, we really don't get anything else right. So we continue to invest very heavily here, and I'll share some of the numbers in our investments and where the investments have gone in terms of our technology over the last few years. In the first pillar, we talk about our subscribers. In the middle pillar, we talk about the investments that we've made. And in the last pillar, we talk about the growth drivers. I'm going to start from subscribers. So overall, our total subscriber base grew by 2.3 million customers to get to 20.1 million. So we've exceeded the 20 million mark, which I think is a fantastic milestone for us to be able to achieve in 2018. But notwithstanding the overall subscriber growth, we've also grown in very specific areas that are focus areas for us. Data and mobile money / digital are extremely important pillars for us, as you've seen. In data, we grew the data business, or the data subscribers, by 1.5 million customers in 2018 alone, taking us to 13.5 million customers using data today on our network. In mobile money, we saw a very similar growth to data of 1.3 million customers, taking us to 13.6 million customers in mobile money users in 2018. In terms of our investment, we invested over 825 million Ghana cedis in capital expenditure. Most of this investment would have gone into our network, deploying sites, and my good friend will talk through some of this when we get to the technology section in terms of where the investment went. But in achieving this, we actually achieved 77% 3G coverage nationwide, and we expect to take this upwards by about another 10 to 12% in 2019. 4G coverage in 135 districts. This is, again, an excellent delivery here in terms of 4G. We know that in terms of the market itself, that the smartphone distribution is slightly behind us, but we want to prepare the ground so that when the smartphone distribution goes up, we're already ready to give the services and bring the services that our customers so deserve to their doorsteps. In terms of the growth drivers, we already emphasized that there are three main growth drivers for the business. Voice, which is the traditional growth driver. But in addition to voice, we have data and mobile money that are doing quite well and are contributing significantly to the overall growth of the business. So year on year, between 2017 and 2018, the voice business grew by about 15%. The data business, which is one of our core growth drivers, grew by over 30%. And the mobile money business grew by over 60%. These are all fantastic numbers in terms of growth, but again, I would like to emphasize that a lot of this growth is underpinned by what we've done in the investment space in terms of our capital expenditure, bringing the services to many, many districts and towns that were underserved historically, but also our activities on the ground, like I mentioned, extending our sales team into those territories to ensure that we can be amongst the people and we can get the services that they need in terms of customer needs. We'd like to take a quick look at some of our achievements in 2018. In no particular order, says the IPO launch was one of the highlights of our 2018. This primarily, as you all know, was to satisfy a regulatory requirement to localize MTN Ghana. But we saw the opportunity here to actually socialize a business with our customers and bring over 127,000 Ghanaians to be shareholders in Ghana, but in total 128,000 overall shareholders. We also organized customer outreach sessions where the entire employee base goes into town and interacts with our customers. We talked about best customer experience in terms of our Bright strategy. But one of the most powerful ways of delivering on that is to be closer to your customers and really understand the core needs and the core pain points of these customers so that we can develop the right solutions and services for these customers. This will continue in 2019. We thought it was a very valuable exercise, and we'll continue to extend our reach to engage our customers. Customer Soiree is an event that we do where we take a section of our customers, typically our high-value customers, where we invite them over and engage them in a more intimate setting and really get to know these customers much better, but also have some fun. This is something that we've continued to do. We've had about 13 of these events so far since it started in 2015, and last weekend we had one of these sessions in Kumasi as well. So again, just continue to engage our customers, knowing that the customer is the most important part of the MTN business. If I go to the bottom left, Rural Telephony Project launch, I mentioned again in our Bright strategy, two main things. Bring in the services to the doorsteps of all Ghanaians. And we know that customers in those regions are not excluded from the data and digital revolution. So this solution went up last year, and we've deployed a number of sites. In total, we ended the year with about 300 rural sites, and the investment here will continue into 2019. 21 Days of Yellow Care is one of our pillars of giving back. This is very heavily participated by our staff, where we go out to communities and support communities in various ways. This will happen again this year in Q2. The last picture on the right is a picture of the launch of the Tema General Hospital, which forms one of the pillars of our foundation under health. Now, we will continue to invest very heavily in our CSI activities to continue to bring services that our customers in the communities don't currently have to improve the lives of our customers out there. This is something that we believe is extremely important to us as a company, to give back to the communities within which we have our businesses. Apart from that, we had some recognition, and the first one on the left is Ghana Club 100, which we were grateful to receive the award for from the GIPC. We had several other awards, the African #1 Brand Award. We also had below that the Investor in People Award. We're the only Ghanaian company today to achieve this award, which is a fantastic feat, and grateful for the efforts that our HR team and our staff have put into achieving this, and the management as well. Regionally within MTN, I'm looking at the bottom Going to the second picture on the bottom left, several SIGA awards, which is, SIGA is the Southeast Africa Ghana region, which is one of the 3 regions in the MTN global business. And we received about 7 awards within that region as well. So all to say, thanks to our customers and thanks to you for the support. We're getting the recognition we deserve for the activities that we're doing. And we hope to see this continue into 2019. On the second half of that screen at the top, we also emphasize that we can't achieve any of this without investing in our people in different ways. One of the pictures at the top looks at the training specifically focused on women. And we've identified an opportunity here to be able to bring more women into management, to bring more women into leadership roles, but also to bring more women into technology. So Women in Technology is an internal program to be able to enhance what we're already doing in bringing women into the fray, but making this a more conscious effort and investing a little bit differently on how we groom some of the talented ladies in our business to be able to take up senior roles and influence the business. Below that, we have other trainings, crucial conversations. I'm sure this may have some implication on talking to very diligent press members as well. But having crucial conversations with your managers, with external entities, very important that we get the right training here. So again, this all constitutes some of the internal investment we're putting into our people. But then finally on the right, in the top and the bottom, which is Family Day. With all the hard work, you need some time to decompress, and bringing your family to the office or to a specific area and having interactions with other staff families is something we found very, very, very exciting, and we'll continue to run these types of programs with our staff. Overall, a fantastic 2018, and these are some of the highlights. However, before I end my section and hand over to Mr. William Tete, who's going to take us through the Technology Excellence session, I wanted to highlight 10 key messages that underpin the performance for 2018. So yes, a stellar performance, but several things underpin this. The first one is the investments that we continue to make in our network. And we believe that if you don't make the right investments and achieve the right efficiencies, that your business performance will be compromised. So this continues to be an important area for us. We're investing a little bit more than we did in 2018, in 2019, to continue to extend and embed our leadership in technology and ensure that we bring the right services to the doorsteps of our customers. Number 2, approximately 1.5 billion Ghana cedis in total government payments. And again, my colleague Modupe will take us through the details of this. But we do continue to ensure that we pay the requisite taxes. I'm sure most of you know that the telecoms industry is quite heavily taxed, and there are various components of taxes that are included here. And we'll break it down for you. But we continue to be a loyal servant to the government and support the government in ways that would allow us as Ghanaians to make progress forward. Number 3, we achieved over 23.5% growth in service revenue between 2017 and 2018. Number 4, successfully launched our IPO. We raised 1.15 billion Ghana cedis on the Ghana Stock Exchange. For most of you who follow the Ghana Stock Exchange, you'll be aware that the largest IPO on the Ghana Stock Exchange prior to the MTN one was at Ghana cedis 326 million. This was 3.5 times the size of that IPO. So a fantastic feat here, but more so for the number of Ghanaians that we've been able to bring into the shareholding on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Over 127,000 Ghanaians, the highest number of Ghanaians in any company shareholder on the Ghana Stock Exchange prior to this was 10,000. Number 5, as mentioned, our growth drivers remain data, mobile money, and voice. That continues to be quite strong. Number 6 just gives some high-level details on our investment in sites. We deployed approximately 600 2G sites in 2018. This includes the rural sites that we deployed to the underserved areas. 1,100 3G sites in 2018 and 250 4G sites in 2018. You would see the numbers later on for what we're doing in 2019 as well. Number 7, not surprisingly, with all these investments, we've managed to maintain and extend our technology and network leadership. We achieved the best network in Ghana measured through NPS, Net Promoter Score, which we'll continue to lead in 2019 and supported by the continuing investments that we do in the technology space. Notwithstanding some of the new technologies that we've looked at, technologies such as 4G+, which you would hear a little bit more about when we get to the technology section. Number 8, we exceeded 20 million in total customers on the network. Again, this is a fantastic feat for us, and I'm very grateful for the team, but also more grateful to our customers for believing in us and continue to support us as we bring the services to their doorsteps. Number 9, we talked about the award Investor in People, and this just emphasizes that we're the only Ghanaian company to achieve this gold status in Investor in People. So we don't only go out there seeking to generate revenue, but we also seek to ensure that the services and the environment within which we work with is a good environment for our staff and for our stakeholders. And then finally, number 10, which just consolidates everything in terms of the recognitions that we received in 2018. We received over 45 awards, not just in Ghana, not just in Africa, but globally, to crown out 2018. And this represents, to a large extent, the recognition for the work that we've put in, thanks to the management team, thanks to our staff, but more importantly, thanks to you for your support, and lastly, for the loyalty of our customers, without whom we would have no business. So thank you very much. I would hand over to Mr. William Tetteh to take us through the technology excellence.
Good morning. Thank you, Salom. Okay. All right, I'll go straight to the presentation. Last year, 2018, MTN invested $144 million in our network and IT systems. In 2019, we are investing $160 million in CAPEX. And this will be spread across our LTE rollout. We are doing 900 LTE cabinets, new ones, and we are hoping this will be done by the end of this month. Also, we are upgrading all our existing sites. We are upgrading 814 of our 2G sites, and then 560 of our 3G sites. This year also, we are doing 450 new sites, 350 out of which is 3 new greenfield sites, and then 100 sites are going to be in the rural areas to add to the already 300 that we've deployed over the years. We have over 3,500 sites, and as of end of last year, we're left with 277 that do not have 3G. And by the middle of this year, all MTN sites will have both 2G and 3G. So we'll be able to do data everywhere at higher speeds. We are also expanding our fiber network, and this year we are connecting, we are at 368 kilometers of fiber to all our sites. And then also we are expanding our fiber home connection by 45,000 new homes. So this is our plan for 2019. Okay. We hear earlier this year, MTN launched 4G Plus. And 4G Plus is based on the LTE advanced technology. With a spectrum of 1.4, you can do LTE. So 1.4, 3, 5, 10, 15, you can. But to do LTE advanced, you need to have a minimum of 20 megahertz. Okay, and this is done with, today LTE advanced, if you have 10 megahertz, you cannot do that. But if you have beyond 20, you can. And the beauty of what we have now is we have 800 megahertz, and we have the 2.6 megahertz. So this higher speeds is achieved through a technology called carrier aggregation with MIMO. So with this, with our 10 megahertz, we were able to do 75 megahertz per second speed on your mobiles. Now, with with the 2.6, we are doing higher speeds. With 2x2 MIMO, you'll be able to do 150 megahertz minimum per 3GPP standards. But with 4x4 MIMO, with that same, you can do 225. So with our 10 megahertz that we're doing 75 on it, and with the 2.6, that we're able to, with 4x4, we're able to do 225. So we are now able, with carrier aggregation, whereby you have two different carriers, we're able to bring them together. We are on the mobile phone, we're able to do more than a minimum of 300 megahertz. Hence, the LTE plus that we talk about. All right. So, like I was saying, with LTE plus today, we're able to do 5 times more the speed of the 10 megahertz we are doing. If you do the calculations, you can see 75 divided by 300. You can see. Now on the 3G, 3G speed starts from 3.6, 7.2, 14.4 with the 16 QAM. With the LTE advice, we are able to do 20 times more of the 3G speeds I'm currently doing. And this year, we've been able to deploy a total of 1,092 of the LTE sites at the end of March. And this we've deployed to all the district capitals, and especially the key towns like the mining areas, like Obuasi and all those places, we are there. And we have plans of covering all of Ghana in the very near future. Okay, these deployments and our operations have not come without the, quality challenges. And these are purely man-made. Today, we have over 100 fiber cuts per month. And from the graph, you can see clearly the percentages as displayed. 49% of these cuts are due to road and drain construction. 37% are due to private developers, 7% due to ECG, Ghana Water, and Ghana Railway, and then 7% due to mining and other activities. As of the month of February alone, we had 109 cuts, okay, with 21 of them being traffic affected, and 19% of our traffic was affected due to these cuts. We do have resilience. We have a lot of redundancies, but sometimes we have multiple cuts. And when these do happen, there's nothing that we can do than to try to fall back to have those repairs. But if these things are a major effect on our network, and that affects our quality, but we are able to resolve these within the stipulated time. Also, MTN believes that everyone deserves the benefit of a modern connected world. In 2016, MTN entered into a tripartite agreement with Huawei, and we had the first proof of concept here in Ghana. It was highly successful, and in 2017, Huawei, this development was awarded at the GSMA in Barcelona. We partnered with Huawei and with the government agency, GIFEC. We were able to deploy these to over 300 communities. This year, we are going to deploy 100 more, so that will bring the total to 400. This technology is a proven cost-effective technology. What happens is that, for instance, when we have our sites and we want to serve a local community which is underserved or unserved, we locate one of our towers, which is probably about 20 kilometers from that community. And what we do is, if we do not have LTE, we put LTE there. That's the one sector, that's the donor. That's what we call in the air hub. And then we connect, as you can see, we connect from here to, we connect from here. So this is a traditional MTN macro site which is existing. It hasn't got LTE. So what we do is we put an LTE antenna here, which can serve this community of interest. This community of interest has this Yagi antenna. The Yagi antenna is very sensitive. It can even accept very low frequencies. So it's able to pull the signal, and then we have a cost-effective site around, and then we are able to pull the signal and backhaul to this traditional site. And then the community here are able to enjoy both 2G and 3G services. So they can also do data, and with our, since they are very close to the site, with our half rate, we are able to pull in more subscribers, and those communities are able also get hooked to our network and enjoy all the services that MTN provides. So basically, this is a very cost-effective solution, and this year at Mobile World Congress, it was presented, and again, Ghana won, were given an award at the just ended Mobile World Congress. So basically, this is how far we have come, and we are committed to giving you more as the years and the months go by. Thank you.
Ansana network ni beba no na di mai obi yare serious kra na wo person frɛ kra stay wetimi frɛ ebi kura etimi ko frudua
ye wa ha ya na youth employment akwanya ba SS ye ko fill forms me nya ne ntie na me kodu ho no mo no that valid day na closing day timi kodu ho no ma close
school network wo ho ti etimi ko jenya school no park no so ka school fees ya de kra na ye be jenya ho say ye ko.
As a teacher, I have to go online to.
Ansana network ni beba no na di mai obi yare serious kra na wo person frɛ kra stay wetimi frɛ ebi kura etimi ko frudua
ye wa ha ya na youth employment akwanya ba SS ye ko fill forms me nya ne ntie na me kodu ho no mo no that valid day na closing day timi kodu ho no ma close
school network wo ho ti etimi ko jenya school no park no so ka school fees ya de kra na ye be jenya ho say ye ko.
As a teacher, I have to go online to access some information to teach my class, but it wasn't so.
Na network phone ni my no me pese obi bra me niam a je se me a me foka
The wireless telephony solution is a new innovative solution that provides 2G and 3G coverage for the rural areas.
It works by using an in-house developed backhaul solution.
It is also equipped with omnidirectional antenna that provides 360 degrees coverage in the areas rolled out.
We gave services.
In 2017, we entered into a collaboration with MTN. The model that we adopted was to get a more cost-effective arrangement for which we can deploy to cover the whole country.
MTN share in the vision of GIFEC, which is to provide telephony services to underserved and unserved communities.
Currently, we have at least 100 communities benefiting from this solution. Later on in the year, we have planned to deploy 200, which will be solely on solar.
The benefits to these communities is that they can now have access to mobile financial services, which hitherto they didn't get, and also they can now get connected to the whole world.
Because we believe that everyone deserves the benefit of a modern connected life.
And that allows them now to get closer to the community. We believe in doing so, you bridge the digital divide. You know, the same services that you and I enjoy now is available to answer